we were shamed or sort of made to feel small, or by whatever degree could not live in the fullest expression of who we were. And burlesque, for us, in our way, has provided the platform to go and live in that fullest expression. And it does not matter who you are. When you find yourself in league with other people who are existing in that brightness and choosing to radiate themselves and their light in such a way, connection is like, I mean, it's just the most natural thing, because you stand next to this person and you go, I see you.
And bring like 1,000% and just be excellent every single time, regardless of what style of burlesque you're doing. My observation is that everything that we're experiencing with this pandemic is causing people who are willing to look. It's really causing a deep seismic shift in the way that we view ourselves and in the way that we think about ourselves and how we previously existed.
Or sometimes I create an act because I really want to be able to just play with my body and do choreography and roll on the stage and do splits and like do other types of tricks that require me to be in a costume that is very, very minimal and maybe not that valuable because I'm rolling around on the stage in it. So there are some numbers where I do feel a little bit restricted by the costume, by the volume of the costume, by the grandiosity of the costume. I have made this LED costume that is an anatomical heart. And then down here, I've done the internal female anatomy. So there's fallopian tubes, and you've got your ovaries, and you've got your uterus, and then you've got the vaginal canal. And it's just like right here, and it's all neon, and it's lit up. And the heart is here, and this is here. And at that point, the bodysuit has been peeled off. The house lights are totally off, and I'm like slowly walking towards the audience, just lit up with only these two parts, the heart and the organs. And it is it is fucking epic. And that's sort of the end of the act. And it is like, it kind of is like one of those acts that I really love because it's like one thing after another. So everyone who does burlesque is constantly, you know, an engineer on the side, like trying to figure out how to orchestrate either a mass of costume or some sort of like sleek, like splendor of costume, and how this thing just drops in a second, because that's always like the surprise and delight moment of burlesque, right? Is like stuff comes off really fast and no one can figure out how it happened. It is a tangible cellular feeling, like you know that you have just knocked it out of the park. And the audience is going crazy, and you're sort of in this really lovely cycle of like feeling your own energy and then getting their energy back. And that's sort of just when you know that like they have come along the ride with you, like you got them to get on the train, they are on the ride, they like love being on the ride with you. Literally going to walk out of here not knowing what color today smells like. And that is the best thing that I think for myself that I could do for any audience member. When you get to create that magic, and when you get to have that moment with your audience, when you really get to do a surprise and delight. And I guess I would define what burlesque is to me by saying that it is just absolute and ultimate expression and freedom in that. Because I feel like our lives are full of things that we do choose to do, but maybe we don't choose them fully from like joy or excitement or like absolute ecstasy. So when you get done and the audience is like exploding in applause or really silent because you've done something very moving and they're really not sure what to do with themselves, so silence seems like the best option, I'm just fully reminded why it is that I do burlesque, because really nothing else quite gets you there in that same way. Like burlesque really gets you there in that very specific way. When I get to have like those brief moments at the end of a performance with my audience, it fully makes all the money you spend and all the late nights and all the time and labor like worth it times 10.